Welcome,
Welcome.
guys. Today it's going to be, me and Sarah chopping it up. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Veronica Higgins. I am the online coach for any woman looking to just transform her life through mindset, fitness, nutrition, routine, right? It's going to be at Evolve with Veronica on IG and any other platform.
Hi, and my name is Sarah Louise. If you don't know me, it's nice to meet you. I am a content creator. My niche is specifically faith and wellness, and Veronica is actually my coach as well, and I definitely recommend it.
Thank you. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get right into it.
Coaching in general, like, what do you think about it?
In general, you mean
Like, just overall, like, for people who have never had a coach before, who don't even like know that that's an option.
you mean fitness coach or in general?
In general,
Well, I think that people take it for granted, to be honest, and they think that it's just like another like course or like BS that you're investing into. But I feel like people just don't understand how important it is to put your money somewhere that's actually gonna help you grow with someone that actually wants to see you grow, you know? And also, there's a lot of people that are always like, there's so many coaches already, but it's like, then how come there's so many people that are not where they want to be? You know what I mean? So it's like people that are not healthy, people that are not like okay with their bodies, okay mentally. You know what I mean? It's like if there's enough coaches, then why is there still an issue with society?
I feel like personally for me, like, I never thought like a coach was something that was like available to me, if that makes sense. Like, I guess I started viewing coaches from a fitness perspective. I
True.
started seeing
Me
it as like a
too,
personal
yeah.
trainer, right? Like, that's for rich people. That's how
Yeah.
that's what I would think. Like, only rich people
Or for
have
like
personal trainers.
obese people.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Like, who needs a coach? But I don't know. I just feel like, at least for me and the mentors I've invested in, it's been like the best thing that you could possibly invest
Yeah.
in.
Why would you say so?
Because there is no system out there as far as education goes to make you guaranteed success, to guarantee
Yeah.
knowledge and just support, right? Because let's be real, like the regular school system like
Yeah.
doesn't provide that.
Yeah, and honestly, like I can like 100% vouch for that because I went to college for 4 years. I got my bachelor's in international business, and it's something that I really wanted to do as a first generation student. But after, it's like, okay, what do I do now? I don't have a secure job. I don't have anything that's like, okay, you're set for life. It's just, yeah, you have a degree, but everything else you still have to go after. You still have to self-develop. Like you still have to work on yourself. You can't just get out of college. Well, some people do if you're like a doctor or something. Sometimes, like depending on your connections, you get out and you have something laid out for you. But when it comes to your personal development, you still have to chase that in different areas. Right?
Definitely. And your point when you said like the problem with society, right? The problem with society is that people are no longer seeking growth. They think, oh, like, my next promotion, then I'll be happy. My next trip, I'll be happy. My
Yeah.
next milestone birthday.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are they doing in between?
Yeah.
What are people doing in between? Are you trying to grow your intellect? That's not just something that you do from ages, 8 to 18.
Exactly.
Right? That's
Yeah.
something that you have to do for the rest of your life. Like, why stop growing? And that, going back to the coaching and the investment topic, right? The only way you truly learn that personal development and that routine is from somebody who's already where you want to be in
Yeah.
the future.
And that have the information that you are seeking, that can speak from experience, you know? And honestly, I've invested in Veronica and maybe like one other coach, and it's just broke so many limiting beliefs in my mind because I feel like, especially if you've never done this before, you think that your money is only for necessities, for rent, for food, for maybe trips, but you don't specifically think, I'm going to get someone that's going to help me break the limiting beliefs that I have in my mindset, that's going to help me get to where I want to be, you know? And sometimes really hearing it from someone else, someone that's done it before, someone that is currently going through what you are looking to pursue, where you're looking to be at, it's like, okay, if they could do it, I could do it too. And they're giving me an entire system that I just have to follow. And I would say, I'll be fully transparent. From all of the things that you've told me, and when it comes to fitness, when it comes to mindset, all of the little things, it's like I am my worst enemy. You know, it's like sometimes I literally have had moments where I'm like, well, I can just not do this, and then it's like, okay, but then you're not gonna get the results. And you can't blame your coach if you're not following the plan. Like, they're giving you a plan. And if you're not following it, don't say that your coach gave you the wrong plan. Babe, you're not doing
You're not doing the work.
Yeah, like you're not putting in the work. You know, and like, not saying that I'm not putting in the work, but I'm definitely someone that's always like, okay, I can work harder, I can eat better, I can lift heavier, I can do more cardio, right? So the days that I'm like, oh, like I really don't want to finish my cardio right now. I already did 25 minutes. I don't want to do the rest. And it's like, who are you sabotaging right now? Is it your coach that you're paid that already has your money, or is it you? You know, it's like, it's you.
And speaking of limiting beliefs, I feel like majority of people don't even know that they have limiting beliefs that they need to break, right? They're just stuck in this like thought loop of like, I can't do it. I'll never get there. It's too hard. All these excuses. But having a coach, just having a coach already breaks those limiting beliefs.
True.
Because it proves to you that you can do it. And there's somebody in your face telling you, hey, I did it. This is what I did. You can do it too. Like, that should break every limiting belief right off the bat, you know? And there was another point I wanted to make on that, and then I forgot. Oh, that's the thing, right? It breaks the limiting beliefs, but then the information that you get makes it a reality. Right? Because this is actually something that I learned from my mentors, and that was information changes situations. The only thing that makes you different from that person that you want to be is information that you're missing. It's the strategy, it's the steps that you need to follow in order to get there. That's it. It's the only difference.
Yeah. And I just wanted to kind of touch on what you were saying earlier about what are people doing. And I feel like most people are just escaping. You know, not only they don't know what limiting beliefs are, because I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't know. Like, I've been on my inner work, self-healing journey for a few years now, like I'd probably say like 4 to 5 years.
I would say so.
Right. But before, I had no idea what limiting beliefs were. You know, like if you were to come up to me and be like, what are your limiting beliefs? I'm like, what
are you talking about?
Exactly. You know, and what would you say limiting beliefs are? If you had to describe to someone that doesn't know, like they have no idea.
That's a good question. I would say limiting beliefs are simply just fears, insecurities, traumas from your past that are affecting your actions and your reactions today.
That's good. Yeah. I guess I would say they're just like opinions that you have either from your past or from current situations that make you think that you can't get to where you want to be. And there's like a limit, there's like a line, you know, like even when we talk about like online coaching and other things, it's like the reason why you feel like you can't do it, or the reason why you feel like you shouldn't have a coach, is because someone once told you that that was like BS, or that you wouldn't be able to accomplish it, you know? So it's like, okay, now you have someone else's belief limiting your own because you haven't questioned, like, why do I think like that? Why do I feel like that? Who told me that? You know, and for me, this hits home because I grew up with a family who didn't really like question anything. It's just like, this is what our grandparents told us, and this is what our great-grandparents told them, so this is what we're gonna do, you know? So then for me, I'm like, why do you think like that? You know, like I feel like when you start to think, why do I think like that, and question your own self-limiting beliefs, and not just that, but like the patterns that you have in your brain, it's like you realize that those never even came from you anyway. It came from people that you wouldn't even trade places with. So why do you believe what they believe if you don't want to be in their situation?
But I feel like it all starts there, right? The journey of personal development starts with why.
Yeah.
The minute you ask yourself that question, everything changes because now you've opened up your brain and your reality to every possibility. You know, it's never how did this happen to me, or in what way did this
Yeah.
happen to me, and why did this happen to me. It's taking the self accountability and realizing that every single decision that you've made up until this point right now has led you to where you are.
Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, sometimes I get a little bit tricked out by that. I don't know if it's like a faith thing or what, but I'm like, okay, so some people will say that your path is already laid out for you, right? Like, what do you think about that?
So like this is like the destiny versus
Yeah. And it's like, okay, or like you already, like God already knows what he wants for you. And then I'm like, okay, so does God want me to fail? But God does give us free will, it's like he's not telling you to skip the gym or whatever it may be. Like he doesn't want you to self-sabotage. So sometimes I just don't even know which side to be on. But I do know that our decisions definitely control our lives as well.
And see, that's a question that I've struggled with I've just gone back and forth in my head with for a very long time.
Really?
Is like, is there such thing as destiny? Or am I in control of this? And I think you're going to disagree with me, but I have ultimately come to the conclusion that I am God. I am God because I am all that I have.
Okay.
Right? It's not outside of me. Anything what a Christian perspective would deem as hell or heaven, right? I don't see that as a place physically. I see that as a state of consciousness.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And even the book that you gave me talks a lot about that. And I guess like we do have very different beliefs and faith. Guys, if you don't know, I'm Christian. Veronica is more spiritual, you would say?
Yes, I'm very open. I would say I'm like agnostic.
Yeah, and don't
put a
get me
label
wrong.
on
Like, I know exactly everything that you are saying because I used to be very spiritual too. Like, I'm talking about laying down, meditating with crystals on my head and incense burning, like saging my home. But I accepted Jesus, so a lot of things changed for me, including and I used to think that too, like, okay, like, I am God, we're all God, right? And I'm not saying that I don't respect your opinion. Obviously, I fully respect what you think and who you are as a person. But from my belief, it's like God lives within me. So I don't know if like you could like agree with that or not from your point of view. Maybe it's a little different. But that also gives me the power to be like, okay, so if God lives within me, then why can I not do the things that I want to do? So maybe that's where we can kind of meet in the middle.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. No, and I completely agree with that, right? And I think that I'm going to call some people out. But if you say that you believe in a higher power, but you aren't where you want to be or actively working towards it, you aren't a true believer.
Yeah, and I guess that goes for both, for whatever religion you believe in, like if you have a faith and you have something that you look up to, whether it's whatever, a higher power, God, but you don't follow the steps, then it's like, what do you follow?
Because if you truly believed that you deserved or that, let me reframe that. If you truly believed in a higher power and that this higher power wants the best for you, you will have inspired action.
Yeah.
And you will take that action.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not even taking any action whatsoever and saying you believe, that's being hypocritical.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. But I also feel like so many people are just clouded by their escaping. And I was that person too, smoking multiple times a day, drinking multiple times a week. And how do you think that God is going to speak to you if you are constantly smoking, drinking? And I don't mean to judge if that's who you are right now. I've been there before, but I know that I wasn't happy and I definitely wasn't where I wanted to be in my relationship with God.
How did your sobriety change? Because you were a Christian while you were also...
Yeah, I mean, It was kind of weird because, so at first I was spiritual. I didn't have anything that I was really going by besides like the universe like wants to bring me good things. And I grew up Catholic, so I always believed in Jesus.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
that's
from
so
Brazil,
interesting.
so like everyone in
I grew
Brazil
up Catholic
basically.
too.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So since I grew up Catholic, I had already certain beliefs, but they weren't like really instilled into me. Like I would pray probably every morning and night, but I wouldn't read my Bible. I wouldn't go to church. So it was like, okay, I do what I want. I'm spiritual. I burn my sage and I use my crystals, whatever. And then I was smoking and drinking, right? So then when I did start going to church and I told myself, like, well, I didn't tell myself anything. It was just more like, okay, like I'm trying out church. This is cool. My friends are going. I believe in God like so much. So it's nice to be in a community of people who believe in the same thing that I believe in. But it kind of started hitting me when I would go every day, and then at night I would smoke, and I would just be like, how does this match the person that I am trying to be, not only like career wise but also with God? Like how is it that I believe in God so much but I can't relax without weed?
So like, just so that I like understand it, was it that the church, for a lack of a better term, because I really can't think of
No,
one.
don't worry.
Was it that the church like demonized drinking and smoking, or
No,
was it that like
no.
how were you feeling? Like what made you take that decision?
I just felt like I didn't fit in by doing those things, but overall I felt like I fit in. So it was like, okay, like I felt like I'm smoking, I'm getting drunk, I'm like relying on weed, relying on smoking. I didn't rely on drinking. I never liked drinking that much. It was just like one of those things that's like, I feel good, everyone's doing it, why not? Right? But I guess it's like, as I started to get more in my faith and like read the Bible, I would read scriptures about be sober minded, call on God. And then like when I would be like high out of my mind, it's like I would feel ashamed to pray and do those things. And I'm like, how is it that this is so good for me, but I can't pray when I'm high? And some people will say that they do. And since I smoked so much, I would still pray when I was high. I would read my devotionals, but it just got to a point where I felt like I was living a double life and it didn't match anymore. It was either like, okay, it's either I'm going to be smoking all the time and like pretending that I'm like seeking God, or I'm going to let go of the smoking and seek God. And I've never talked about it with anyone at the church, maybe with my friends, but not like, they wouldn't like specifically say that. They would just talk about addictions. And I'd be like, I'm not addicted to weed. It's just weed. But then every night I'm like, I need to smoke before I go to sleep, at least before I go to sleep, Like,
Yes.
Did you have that too?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we would smoke together.
We would smoke together, but same thing. Like it becomes a habit and you're like, well, at least before bed.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. Like, let me zoom out. Like, did you for real just say like, you need to?
Yeah.
And that's when, because I'm sure you can relate, when you are under the influence, like you do have spiritual experiences.
Yeah.
Right? You are like more in tune almost with your mind being able to open and be receptive and just
it's
free.
tricky.
But after so long, you almost think to yourself, wow, like I'm not able to achieve that without this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how like weed at least snuck up on me, right? Where I got to the point where I'm like, wait, I'm sober right now and I'm miserable and all I want to do is smoke. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like that's not okay.
Yeah.
That is not okay, because then that means that those spiritual experiences, that level of consciousness that I'm achieving while I'm under the influence is outside of me.
Exactly. They're not real.
It's not real. It's not real, because if you can only get there through a substance, that's the substance.
Yeah,
that's not
real.
you.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I've seen so many people say, I get more creative when I'm smoking. I'm able to still get things done. But it doesn't matter. If you are constantly relying on a substance, then it's like, do you even know who you are? And I can say I've changed so much after smoking, because when I would smoke, I would forget about all of my goals, kind of. Like I still wanted to be this person. Like I still envisioned myself, but it was like, now it's okay to eat a whole bag of chips and a bag of chocolate pretzels. You know what I mean? It's like,
Just because I'm high.
exactly. Like it didn't matter. And then the next day it's like, what did I do? Like, why did I do that? Did that happen to you as well?
Oh yeah, and it's almost like like a grogginess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just feel gross
Yeah.
with yourself because you know that you fed into the dopamine.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Food, weed, alcohol, sex at at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like it's all, you're just chasing dopamine. Even scrolling, I would go as far
Yeah.
as to say
Oh my
scrolling.
God.
That's all it is. And what you're becoming addicted to, it's not the food, it's not the weed, it's the dopamine rush that you get while doing those things. But then you completely exhaust that supply
Yeah.
and you just feel like shit because it's
Yeah.
just not natural.
And that's why, to me, it's so important to have a faith, because it's like a way of getting true joy without having to seek external things that will die, basically. So in the Bible, there's this one verse that says, I'm not gonna get it right, so forgive me already, but it basically says, focus on things that are eternal.
Because everything else is not going to like go with you. I can't say it right. I forgot what verse it was, but you get the point. It's basically like if you focus
On materialistic things or anything of this world, it's not coming with you, you know, like when you die, it's not coming with you. So it's like, what can you focus on right now that will be something of actual, what's the word? Like something beneficial that's real right now, you know? And even if you don't know that it's real, like, I guess there's no way of actually proving that there is a higher power or a God, or, you know, but if you believe, then you have your personal testimonies, whether it's God or a higher power, you have your personal testimonies. But when you put your faith in things, for example, in weed or in food, because, bro, we don't talk enough about how much food is an emotional, like, hold. Like, it's like it has people on a chokehold. And even me, like when we started the coaching, I would text Veronica probably like 3 times a week. Like, I really want a brownie.
It was
right
bad
now.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember you'd be at work, you'd be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
and I
need a
hated my
brownie.
job. I don't work there anymore, thank God. But I hated my job, and I will use the excuse of, oh, since I'm having a bad day at work, like I should eat something that's good so that I can feel happy. Like my life is so short. Like let me just eat something that I like so that I can feel okay with myself. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not the type that's like no sweet treats ever. Like if I really want a brownie, I will eat it. But it also it's gotten to the point where it's like it doesn't even hit the same. You know, it's just like now you eat it, you don't feel good about yourself. Not even just mentally, but like physically. Like if you're eating really clean, like if you eat like a big brownie and now you're bloated, you know, and it's like at what cost? At the cost of the small dopamine.
Right.
You know?
And once you just stick and commit to a lifestyle that's kind of anti-dopamine, in a way, you know, you're limiting your scrolling because you're reading more things, right? You're limiting your dopamine that you get from food because you're trying to eat clean. So
Yeah.
you're not eating all that, you know, dopamine, it's sugar and processed shit. And, you know, you're moving your body. You're not staying still and just watching movies or in bed or whatever. You know, once you commit to a lifestyle like that, and for a significant period of time, it's so hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so hard in the beginning. But once you make it over that hump, like, you look at those things and you're like, I don't even want it.
Yeah.
I don't even want it. And I know that there's people out there because it was me where I'm like, I don't know what I would do without like my nightly, you know, whatever.
Weed or
My nightly ice cream. Like, I don't know what I would do without, I
Yeah.
could never quit that.
yeah.
And it's like, it's not about
The nighttime
quitting
snacks
it.
will get you.
Yes, they will. And it's not even about quitting it. It's just about not identifying with
Yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah, and not idolizing it either, because I feel like the hardest thing for me was because I was thinking, I'm never gonna eat a sweet treat after dinner, or like I'm never gonna go out to eat anymore, you know? And I love food, I love those things, you know? But when I realized that my emotions were so tied down to food, it was actually kind of scary, you know? And that's why I also really like fasting, especially like spiritual fasts, when you tell yourself you're not gonna eat until this time. And obviously, like when you fast, you have to eat good. You can't just go to McDonald's and,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are doing that. You're not eating for 24 hours and then
She
you're
said.
going to McDonald's. No, but like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
no,
like people are
facts.
not even like aware of that, or like they're super skinny and they're like, oh, I'm fine. But it's like, are you really fine though? you know?
But let's talk about how all those choices like affect your mental. Like people don't get it. They're like, oh, like I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's because you've been fine in a low mental state for so long that you think that that's normal.
Yeah, you don't even realize that you're not at your highest potential.
Dude, like I remember being so tired every day. So tired. Like all I wanted to do was take a nap. I remember feeling like foggy in the brain. Like you would ask me a question and I'd be like, "Wait, what'd you say?"
Yeah,
Like
especially
that
with the
mental
weed.
grogginess. Yes, especially with the weed. And then just like I remember there was one point, this was a while ago, but I went up like a whole flight of stairs. And I was like, "Damn." Like that kind of took it out of me. Like I was like,
Yeah.
you know, breathing a little heavy after. Like that shit isn't normal.
Yeah.
And when you switch your lifestyle, you start to realize, like, I feel so good right now. Like, wow, like I actually feel, it's not just about the confidence. Like, I truly feel like the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And that's something that's just priceless.
Exactly. And yeah, like you said, it's not just about the confidence, it's about your health too, you know? You don't want to be 80 years old and you can't even get up from the toilet because you haven't moved your body in 50 years. You know, like I think people neglect the fact that if you actually want to live a good, healthy lifestyle, you need to be feeding your body with healthy foods, making movements that are intentional, lifting weights, you know? Like, can we talk about that?
But like, yes, because that is so important. But let's be like totally real and just say, like, everybody knows that that's what they have to do.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
That's
like it's
true.
everybody
Yeah.
knows you have to eat healthy. You know, you have to get your body moving. You have to drink water. Like these are the
Yeah.
things that you have to do in
That's
order to
true.
be healthy and to get your mind right.
It's like common sense.
Yeah, it's common sense, but people just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because of and going back to the limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
It's too hard. I'm not consistent. I can't stick to it. It's just not for me. It's not my
Yeah.
thing. Like shut up. Like I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
You know,
I get it.
like stop complaining then. Like stop complaining that you know your life isn't looking up or you're always tired or you don't feel good or it's your mental health. Like yes, mental health is a thing, but look at what you're doing.
Yes.
Like take some
that's big.
accountability.
Yeah. If like all you do is lay down and eat junk food, your mental health's not gonna get any better.
No.
That's coming from experience, you know? Like if you and I get it, it's hard. Sometimes you truly can't do it, but then please seek help because if you can't get up from your bed, you can't eat healthy.
That's a different
you can't-
story.
Exactly. Like you have to seek help, and that's a whole nother different story.
Definitely.
That like obviously we're not therapists. We can't really like
Yeah.
you know, we're not psychiatrists. Like we can't prescribe you like a medicine that's gonna fix your whole thing. But what I will say is that food fixes a lot of things, and so does exercise. Like most of the time, I don't even exercise because I want to be like. I mean, obviously, I want to be fit. Like I want to look good. I want to feel good. But most importantly, I want to have my mental on check. You know, ever since I started working out, it's been huge for me that okay, like this is my me time. I'm gonna listen to music, listen to a podcast, and just lock in. You know, even on my worst days, I've never regretted a workout. You know,
Facts. That's big facts on that. Yeah.
and I also feel like with some people, they just kind of have a victim mindset, and they always think like, well, I can't eat healthy. I'm already depressed. If I eat healthy, I'm gonna be more depressed. No,
Like
you're
what?
not. You like, do you get that though? It's like since you're getting so much dopamine from food, so it's like eating healthy will make you.
It makes me feel good already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's like no, like you're missing out on a whole other world, like a whole other universe that you haven't stepped out into because you think that you can't do it. And honestly, I thought I couldn't do it either, you know. Not saying that I eat perfect or that like I train the hardest. I mean, I try my best.
Let's talk about because I remember having this conversation when I onboarded you as a client.
What?
And you were like, I just want to live a balanced lifestyle. Like that's all I want is
yeah.
just balance.
Yeah.
And do you remember what I told you?
I don't remember specifically what you told me.
You were
that
like,
day,
you were
but-
like, what? I'm like never allowed to eat out. Like, am I not supposed to eat out again?
yeah.
And I remember being like, for right now, no. Like, you're not supposed to be eating out.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, people who want to live balanced lifestyles, you've spent your entire life just living in complete freedom, eating whatever you want, going out whenever, just,
Doing
living a
whatever.
life of freedom, And so now you want a balanced lifestyle and you just want to go from freedom to balance. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you need to learn the other extreme discipline. Like, no, not going out.
Yeah.
Tracking all my food, not missing a single workout, getting all my steps in, and being that hard on yourself and making the sacrifices of like, you know what, this is worth it. I'm not going to go out for a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not going to, because I know that I need to learn this disciplined lifestyle in order to then after be able to combine the two.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I still struggle with some things because I feel like our take on balance is a little different. You feel like, like there shouldn't be any balance. But for me, it's just like I have tried to have a balance with certain things like drinking and smoking. And every time that I have a balance, I just go back to doing it all the time, every day. It's like there's no balance. I just do it anyway. But I have found that if I do go out to eat, I can look for the healthiest
Yes.
options. You know what I mean? So it's like, we've spoke about this before. I'm very big on if my family's going out to eat, I don't want to bring my meal prep. Not everyone wants to do that, which if you do it, I fully respect it. Maybe I'll do it one day. But like as of right now, it's like, okay, what is the healthiest thing that I can eat? And honestly, I feel like that is balance for me.
Yes.
That is my form of balance. Not like, okay, like I can eat healthy all week, but then on the weekend, I'm
Just
only gonna eat
demolish.
junk food.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna
no.
pick out.
I would say you have done a very good job at finding balance. I do have to say that, because 80% of the time, right, throughout the week, you're logging,
Yeah.
you're working out, you're hitting your steps. And then do you go out on the weekend? Sure. But like you said, you choose the healthiest option, you choose sobriety, and like,
Exactly.
that's
And,
just
like,
it. And for, like, I feel like balanced lifestyles do work, right? But like I said before, you need to know both sides.
Yeah.
Why I personally, just within my life, am a little bit anti-balance. And it's not that I'm anti-balance. It's just I think that there's periods and eras where you are a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But majority of the time, I'm like, my just mentality is, if I want to achieve the extreme greatness, like extreme success, to a point that's just like not even fathomable to the average population, I need to live an extreme lifestyle.
Yeah. And I agree, at the end of the day, there's so many people that have been living a certain way, like you said, living in freedom for so long. And whenever they try to do something, it doesn't work. And then that's like the consistency thing that we usually talk about. It's like you fail and then automatically everything goes out the window. It's like, no, if you fail, you need to get up the next minute and try again. Just because you woke up late today, it doesn't mean that your entire day is ruined. Just because you had a cheat meal, it doesn't mean that your entire plan is ruined. Like, you need to get back on your feet like immediately,
100%. And that's something that I feel that me and you both have struggled with, is the perfectionism. You're not a perfectionist. You just refuse to get back on the grind every time you fail.
Yeah.
Right? Perfection is an illusion. Like, it really is. Because, and that's what matters. That is actually true perfectionism. Is, okay, I messed up. Okay, but how can I like do better now?
Yeah.
Like, how can I work with what I have left to be better?
Yeah. Like trying, failing, trying again until you get it right, And what's been really big for me too within the past few months is doing what it is that I said I was going to do and making goals that are realistic to me. I'm very big on this. You might not agree, but for example, you can't tell a person that never goes to the gym that they're going to go to the gym 6 days a week for 3 hours. It's just not realistic.
It's not realistic.
If you are trying to get in the gym, at least start with maybe 4 days for an hour, maybe 5 days for 45 minutes, something that that you can do, but also make sure that check your limiting beliefs before, because if you think that you can't do it, you can't. Like, that's with the strict discipline that we were saying. When I started to have really good discipline, I'm like, I'm going to eat right. Even though I really want a sweet treat, I want to skip the gym, I'm going to do it anyway. It was like at the end of every week, I would be like, wow, I thought that I wasn't going to be able to finish this week, but I did.
But you did.
And it's just, how bad do you really want it? Do you want it bad enough that you want it more than the comfort of having a skipped workout or a sweet treat or a cheat meal? Or do you want to feel what it's like to be on the other side and have the feeling of, you know what, it was hard, but I pushed.
But you
through.
did it. And the sad reality is that not everybody was meant to live a happy lifestyle. Not everybody was meant for that, because it takes work. It takes work in getting to know yourself, in getting to fail and then get up again, you know? But like you were saying, like if you truly want to change, you have to make it happen. But you've never built the trust with yourself from the beginning because you failed and then let yourself go. All you have to do is just stick with it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's never too late to stick with it. You know, if you are watching this right now and you feel like you failed too many times to the point where you can't stick with it, it's not true. That's a limiting belief. It's never too late. It's better to start now than 5, 10, 20 years from now.
Exactly.
So start today as you're watching this video and do the things you said you were going to do.
And if you recognize your limiting beliefs, if you know what you need to do and are just not doing them, then I think it's obvious that you just need to seek out help. You need to invest in yourself, invest in a coach, invest in a mentor, because having that support, the minute those limiting beliefs come into play, changes the game.
Exactly.
Guarantees success.
Don't be scared to invest in yourself, guys.
Period.
It's worth it and it'll pay off. But thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
watching.